Hello, I'm Zaccura and welcome back to my channel, and grab your tea and sit back because we done got an art and chat for today. That was a really awkward intro. I swear, maybe I'm just like a podcaster at heart. I'm going to be doing a little Kuretake Gansai watercolor painting of a fox, which is part of a new project that I'm working on, which I'll talk about a little later in this video. Also, we may not get as many fancy edits or camera angles switches in this video, just because those take a lot of time to edit, and I frankly just wanted to get a video out and just chat like I used to, you know? Old school Zaccura.
Oh sure, make excuses. I'm sure it's not because you're just too lazy.
So I didn't record the sketch for this painting, and a lot of the time with my traditional art videos, if you guys didn't notice, I don't record the sketch part. And that is because the sketch is the most intensive part of traditional illustration for me. Everything is built on top of your sketch, so it takes a lot of my concentration to think about the composition and just make sure that it's gonna look good. And especially when I'm drawing a subject that I don't draw often, like animals, I really try to give my full attention to what I'm drawing, and I don't want to have my mind distracted by my cameras and whether or not they're filming, or if they have battery or space on their SD card, or like if my head is blocking the shot and so on. And I do know that a lot of people enjoy seeing the whole process, including the sketching. I am totally one of those people. When I'm watching other artists, I love seeing their sketch process, but I didn't include it this time. I'm sorry. I also worked on this piece during the evening when the sun was going down, which is not the best time to film in my situation because the artificial lighting is not as good. I'm sorry, Toto. And normally I would wait until the next day to start filming so I have some daylight, but with this, I really just wanted to focus on making a good piece of art. I had inspiration at that moment to paint, so I kind of just wanted to let myself enjoy the process rather than necessarily focus so much on making a fantastically good quality video. And I mention all this not just as a way to bash and criticize my filming, but also to make a point about needing to find balance between prioritizing your art and sharing it online. And sometimes it's better to settle for an imperfectly shot video if it means that you were able to focus on making a piece of art that you enjoy and that you learn from and that makes you a better artist. And I have brought up this subject about balance as an artist in multiple videos in the past, and I think it's still going to be a reoccurring theme in a lot of my narrations because it's something that I'm still trying to figure out myself. It can be really difficult to make decisions between prioritizing the art versus making shareable content. Especially if making shareable content is part of your job, or your goal is to make it your job. You know, you can't completely ignore it and just indulge yourself in your wonderful art creation without filming anything or taking any pictures, because then you'll have nothing to share. But you also can't completely neglect your art creation either, because if you're not prioritizing making good art and good projects that you're passionate about, then your art is not gonna be that great. And in turn, your audience will feel it, and as a result, you're not gonna be that successful at your job anyway. So it can be really tough, and for a while I was definitely out of balance towards only prioritizing making shareable content and really neglecting the need to actually enjoy what I was drawing, to the point where drawing and painting became kind of secondary. I only did it if it served some kind of purpose related to my YouTube or my socials or something. Every time I sat down to draw, it wasn't with the mindset of let's make a really cool painting. It was with the mindset of I had better make something postable. And that mindset just completely killed my inspiration and motivation to draw. I became massively art blocked, and as a result, I was still not making a lot of stuff to share online. I'm sure you guys have noticed my very infrequent uploads for most of this year. And so, having been so far on one end of the spectrum, I've really come to appreciate the need to Also prioritize working on projects, on paintings, on drawings that you just enjoy, man, almost selfishly for no other reason. And the balance, of course, that sweet spot is where you can figure out things that you enjoy. You can work on things that you enjoy and also find ways to make that shareable. I don't know if I'm quite there yet because, truth be told, I have finally gotten my love and inspiration back for art. I have been drawing and painting almost daily for the last couple of weeks, which has felt so good because I haven't done that in, probably over a year. But I haven't really been sharing any of it, so I kind of swung from one side of the pendulum to the other, but I'm slowly working my way back to the middle, and I think it was kind of necessary to experience both extremes to really understand where that balance can be found, and once it's found, hopefully how to maintain it and not fall back to one side or the other, because at least you're now familiar of like the signs for when you think you're falling out of balance, if that makes sense. But anyway, we really just kind of fell into that philosophical discussion, didn't we? Going back to this foxy painting. Very foxy. And the project that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I've had this idea for this project since probably like June, maybe even a little before then. Like, it's been a while, but I kept not allowing myself to work on it because out of balance mindset Zaccy was all like,
I have other projects that should take priority because of blah blah blah.
But of course I got very little work done on those other projects anyway because I was not as excited or passionate about it, but I finally slapped myself in the face. Steve offered to do it, but I needed a good slap and he has very, very small flippers. And I was like, why am I not allowing myself to work on this project that I'm actually inspired and excited about? Just. And it is, drumroll, to create a wall calendar featuring a different forest animal on each page. And this foxy fox is the first of them. And because I have put this project off for so long, it is now kind of late in the year to just start working on making a whole calendar. I've made calendars in the past and it takes a lot of work. I mean, it's 12 illustrations plus all of the formatting that goes into it. And it's already almost September at the time that I'm recording this, so I don't really know if I'm going to be able to make it in time, but I'm gonna try. Worst case scenario, if it gets too late in the year, I'll just put it together as a calendar next year. The style I had in mind was this kind of nostalgic children's storybook art look. Something like Peter Rabbit, and it's very fun to paint in this way with the watercolor washes and loose line work. But it did take me a while to get the sketch right for this fox because I don't draw animals a lot and I am very unfamiliar with the way that their bodies move, and I didn't realize just how weird a sitting fox looks until I was just sitting there, just staring back and forth between my reference photos and my drawing, being like, that just can't be how it looks. Back legs don't work like that. But it does. When it came to coloring this particular piece, however, it actually went very smoothly, partly because I didn't really have to mix any new colors. It just so happens that the leftover colors on my used, dirty watercolor mixing palette, which were left over from my Remus Lupin illustration, were actually super close to the colors that I needed for this fox, so who said being lazy and not cleaning things doesn't have its merits? So calendar ambitions aside, at the very least I think this project would be a really great opportunity to finally study animals a bit more, and please let me know in the comments what your favorite forest animals are, because I have a few in mind already for what I want to draw, but I don't have 12 yet, so I do need some help. And that wraps up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening and spending some of your day with me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Also hit that little bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And if you have a moment, be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know what you think, as well as your favorite forest animal, like I mentioned, and I might draw it. If you'd like to support me by grabbing my books or other items from my shop, all that and more can be found on my website, Zaccura.com. The link is down below in the description box, along with links to all of the tools and materials I used in this video, in case any of you guys are curious. I wish you great balance with your art and your lives, and so does Steve. And until next time, stay awesome, stay inspired, always. See ya!